Hello, everybody. Buddy with Midland, Texas. This was a Facebook post that I got a lot of likes on. I was telling a story. After court, my attorney said, "Now you can live anywhere you want." And I said, "I'm right where God wants me to be." I was kind of getting the feeling he's wanting me to move, and I lost terribly in court that day. Okay, this conversation was December 18th, 2013, 22 months after I'd been shot by somebody under my home with my phone lines cut. At that time, I didn't know there was $1 million underground home in the backyard or that criminals were using my property for underground parties, but I do now. Okay. And here was a message from Layla Gale O'Brien right here. She was a CAD programmer, told me she worked on this project. It was, and here she's saying 7.35 million. I said miles. She said million, on permit. She told me it was on permit. And we checked and come to find out, the city of Midland said all the permits were accidentally deleted. I said the cost of project. She says it used to be called the safe houses. So this was what that was with the safe house project, was these underground homes where the oil show parties were at. I was also maybe told it's illegal casino gambling, all that. But you could see it on Google Maps right here in my backyard. You could see real well where in the backyard was a big bunker. Okay, large bunker. Okay, when you flip the map to the satellite screen, it wasn't there from above ground. Okay, and so I contacted the city of Midland, told them multiple people documented saying underground homes are here, supporting evidence found on Google Maps, and a week later that's deleted off Google Maps. And I fully believe it's to cover up the crimes and murders connected with them underground homes, capital crimes. And then I get this message, Angel Krugler, and I print screened it. It says, "Sorry if this sounds rude." Automatically, right? A rude question's coming. But why wouldn't you want to move? I totally get not giving in to the enemy. I'm just curious your response. Lit a funny face, right? Okay, and so I took the time to explain this to her, and she never replied. That's very suspicious right there. But here, let me explain it. A lot of people have asked the question: Why don't you run and hide? Why don't you limp off and get in the food line, buddy? Without a job, your name's smeared. Yeah, right. Okay, I say Angel Krugler, selling my home and moving is exactly what these violent criminals want me to do, because that would allow them to get away with the many crimes and murders connected with them rigging this home with hidden underground access, as well as the secret underground home in the backyard where the oil show parties were held. I was told there had been 4 murder deaths here before they cut my phone lines and shot me, and I was also told that the previous owner was reporting the same crimes as me before he died. Interestingly, he died a few weeks after listing this home for sale. And selling this home and moving didn't work out too good for him, did it? I'm documenting many people suggesting that I move while I live under the threat of death, and for some odd reason, they're not suggesting for law enforcement to arrest these criminals that would allow all of us to live safely in our homes. Ain't that weird? One of those people was Homeland Security Agent Paul Cervantes. He tried to talk me into moving due to the threat to my life on the day that I showed him where I believe a tunnel was located that was used for the oil show party murders. Crimes that I believe are rooted in human trafficking. He's a law enforcement officer. On the other hand, moving does nothing for me since it's not homes that kill people. If you don't arrest the criminals, then they can follow you anywhere. It's ludicrous to think they're going to stop being killers just because I move somewhere else. In addition, moving would not help me clear my name. And in fact, the best way for that to happen is for the underground homes to be exposed. I have 8 grandchildren, 1 great granddaughter who is living up or growing up under the shame of the lies told about me, their grandpa, to cover up the home invasion and failed murder attempt in my life that left me crippled and without a job. My name's smeared. So why don't you think our law enforcement exposing these underground crime centers and arresting these dangerous criminals is what should happen? And so I asked her a question. She never answered. She liked a little funny face though, didn't she? And here I'm showing here that's from a video I had showed Homeland Security, because I believe this is connected to human trafficking. They're supposed to take care of human trafficking. So on July 17, 2019, or July 2nd, I met them behind the Home Depot store where I believe a tunnel was located going to my house and used for these underground parties. Okay. And so I'm at Homeland here, and then that's when he tried to talk me into selling my home. Amazingly, okay. So 2 weeks later, on July 17th, they're pouring concrete back there, digging up the ground, pouring concrete right where I showed them. And I'm going to show you on Google Earth historical maps. You can go look at this right now. You can see where they cut the ground out of the back of Home Depot, aimed directly at my house. And in the backyard, I showed you, is where one of them underground homes are. That's where the parties were going, might be an illegal casino, all that stuff. Okay. And then also, here just a couple weeks after that, after I made this viral video, senior U.S. Congressman Mike Conaway from Midland announces his retirement. Come to find out that his brother-in-law used to live across the street from my home, where it was said that there had been 4 people murdered, died before I was shot with my phone lines cut. Here, I'm going to show you a little bit more. Okay, one last comment here. And I said, I've documented many people asking suggestion, ordering me to sell my home or move while I live under the threat of death. If they know about these $1 million underground homes, and then they're trying to get me to sell my home, then that would be a violation of the Hobbs Act. Okay, I'm going to show you this. This is an old Facebook post I call the Move post, okay? And one of the main things in it is the Hobbs Act, okay? And I'm showing right here, and you can go Google that for yourself if you want. It says the Hobbs Act's a violation of extortion or attempts to conspire to shall be fined in this penalty or imprisoned not more than 20 years. The statute is frequently used in connection with cases involving public corruption, such as secret police gangs. Okay, extortion means the obtaining of property from another with his consent, induced by wrongful use of actual or threatened force, violence, or fear. Okay, so you can't just gang up together with a bunch of dirty cops to terrorize a person into selling their home so you can get the property, the underground home that's in their backyard. And that's what's going on. Okay, and then I've had many clear death threats. Lance Eggleston here, you'll be silenced, not if but when. And I'm like, when are you going to murder me, Lance? He's the one that told me, hey, we have access to your home at all time. Nobody's going to believe believe you. And we know where you sleep. All that was in the same message. Kathy Backus, he's spreading everything all over the net with everyone's name. He's going to wind up being in a hole. Ha ha, that's funny to her. Erica Camille. Fast forward 2 weeks, Mr. Buddy Wayne Webb, nowhere to be seen. No one has seen or heard from him in several days. Police are looking for leads. Austin Pressey, I'm going to call them, have them do a wellness check on you. Randy Wallace, you best stop worrying about it. They're going to get the snitch, So if you report somebody breaking in your house, stealing and shooting you, cutting your phone lines and shooting you, then you're a snitch. If they break into your home and try to kill you. And then all these people, here's, you can read the name, Jacqueline Conrad. I'd move. Sell your house for $500,000 and move. See, it's all about my house. Put your house on the market and move. That's pretty scary. I'd move. How come they ain't saying arrest the darn criminals, Why don't you move? Leave the house for your safety. I would have moved. And some of these, they're not rude. I mean, they really, think I should get out because they think they're going to kill me, Why stay there in Midland? Sound not say, why don't you move? And here's a Betty Thomas. Sell and move the F out, you moron, because we want the house in your backyard. Why do you want it, Betty? Why do you want my property? You don't need to you need to get out of there before they do worse, okay? Here's another one. Why don't you move? Well, if I were you, I'd just move. Have you considered selling and moving before they actually kill you? I would move. Get out ASP. How are you still living there? And these are old ones. There's more than that. I mean, there was some I recorded just recently. And it's amazing because why hasn't the police done their job? And, just think if they would have arrested the criminals when I first reported these crimes, I wouldn't be crippled. I got a feeling there'd be several murders that wouldn't have happened if the police would have just done their job and arrested the criminals, exposed the underground homes, and stop this nightmare. Buddy Webb, Midland, Texas. I'm not moving, by the way.